So we can help, because I got detectives with me. I don't know where the hell the upstairs is. No. Where is the tower? Where is the tower? Where is the tower? Go to the tower room. I don't know which way that is! Frank, are you putting your detective hat on? Oh, here's the tower. I'm assuming it's this way. No? What the hell? How the hell do you get to the tower room? Oh, okay. Apparently this is it. Okay.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of?
I'm full Sherlock
I
mode.
must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love.
I'm full into pizza right now.
Great, honey.
Great, honey.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured. For what comes up here from the mortal world? What is this disc?
Observe the disc or take it.
Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
Okay, take it, idiot. Okay. Okay.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
God damn. No, I don't need to.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
I'm not wasting 3 skill traits to know a fucking painting.
Carmelite water.
Okay, now I will.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion could be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles.
What a waste. Like, I didn't even need to know that. Basically, that all that meant was, like, anyone could be bribed. Basically.
Dante's Paradise.
Yeah, we're going to open the
Raise
door.
your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Here we go. It's locked. Let's unlock
The door
it.
appears to be locked on the other side. I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor. We'll see if it works.
Ah! Metal disc, baby. Metal fucking disc. Is there a sword
open.
on the painting? No, there wasn't. There was like a spear. We'll find a sword, I'm sure.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Pick both locks. Holy, 7? Jesus. I can pick it, but I lose all my points.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
Should I use all my points and unlock that? Wait, I get 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'd have no points after. I won't be able to do any, like...
The New Testament.
Oh my god, what is all this? Book of... see, I'm not smart with books, because I didn't...
Volume of the Gutenberg Bible.
I didn't, yeah. All I know is this has a lot of fucking stuff in it. Oh my god.
Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for all have
I'm
sinned.
not reading this book. I don't even like bedtime stories.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Reni.
Why does paintings even matter here?
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni.
You know,
Looks like someone
Renee.
touched this commode recently. Their fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Reni.
I have an idea.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air. Amber crystals.
I don't care. I want fucking honey stuff.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. Their fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Okay. 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 Gotta look through every corner. Honey? Yay, honey!
St. Paul, painted by Guido Reni. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
What does that mean?
St. Paul is shown holding a
The
sword.
sword!
Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look.
Mm-hmm.
This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome.
This one's suspicious.
Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. I don't know, what does that mean? So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with a figure, maybe?
Oh, I think I know. Now I gotta go read this book, I think. And I'll find something. Paul. 11. 2. 3. Okay, so 3, 9, 10, 11.
How shall not the ministration of the Spirit not be more glorious?
No, it was not that one. 11. 11, 11, twice!
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait! A note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative, awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Oh my god, who's the youngest? He doesn't have a
St.
beard.
John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer. The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle?
Move the painting, you idiot!
Course. There's something written behind the painting.
E. Elizabeth was
day,
our mom's comment. Oh, Elizabeth!
Prophecy
You're
of
right.
The young apostle.
You're
They
right.
shall add one companion
And she's dead now because
to their
someone
left
killed her.
and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
Okay. I totally forgot what he just said. Someone's trying to kill her and the mom, I think. Okay.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
One to the left and 3 to the right. Okay. Do they all have numbers I could do?
There's nothing worth noticing here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. It says, "Count in the dust." All right, let's do it. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. That's what the message in Hebrew spoke about. Hebrew 8.
This is getting...
It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years.
Okay.
No, nothing of value here.
I gotta check all the paintings.
Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn.
I think that's what I have to
Sentence
do.
in Hebrew.
Why in Hebrew? No, I don't want to waste the talent for that. Okay. Okay, at least we're making progress now. Maybe we can remove this towel.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are
Move it?
fingerprints on the
Can I
sheets.
move it
and
now
in the
or
dust.
what? Move it or what? Can I move it or what? No. Okay. What about you, sir?
St. Paul painted by Guido Rini. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust. As if
Nope.
the painting's been
Okay.
cleaned recently.
Okay.
There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting.
Okay,
and
something
underlined
about
it twice.
peerages
No,
or
what does
something
that
on
mean?
8. Okay, hold on. We'll go back to that book. We're gonna go back to that book. Pilgrimages at 8 or something like that. Hebrews 8.
But that which beareth thorns and
Oh,
briars
there's also
is
2 and 8.
rejected, and is nigh unto cursing, whose end is to be burned. Here's a message. There are some complications. Indeed, the Prussian is insistent. What's happening at your end? Do you need help? If tonight is not possible, let's see tomorrow evening, in the South Room, where we reviewed the situation. When Paul understood that only the axe counted, he went back on his tracks. I await your confirmation to his left, in the company of the pilgrims that have joined him. Yeah, this last comment is about their code. I should find new pilgrims near Paul.
New Pilgrims of Paul. So this is Paul right here, right?
St. Paul painted by Guido Rini.
Okay. Maybe it means I can remove these now?
There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Think about the group of pilgrims. Oh, this is so much points to use. Fuck, I don't want to use that. What the hell does that mean? Think about the group of pilgrims. Should I waste it?
Group of pilgrims, if I'm not mistaken, numbered respectively 12 and 14 in the last painting. With the simple operation suggested, that would mean that the new groups are 6 and 7.
6 and 7. I need 6 and 7. Paul understood the axe and counted. He went back. Paul. Where's Paul? What was it? 6 and 11 and something else. One second. I need to
I guess I'll just come back later.
reread what he said.
Paul painted by Guido Reni. So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to.
Something about 12 and 14.
Maybe it's a
and then,
code.
Yeah.
There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean,
Okay, it's not this one that I
connection
wanted.
with the figure, maybe?
12 and 14 was it? Okay, one sec. I think it was the other painting, actually. I went to the wrong one. I should be able. Once I do it once, I should be able to do it again for free. Yeah.
Pilgrims.
12 and 14. Oh, you're so smart, Miss MP.
Numbered respectively 12 and 14 in the last
Okay.
painting.
12
If
and
the
14.
simple operation suggested, that would mean that the new groups are 6 and 7.
6 and 7, 12, 14. We need. Okay, so we need 12 and 14. I think there was one, right? 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14. 12, 14. 12, 14. 12, 14. 6 and 11? No. 6 and 7. 7, 14? No, 12, 14.
Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Didn't work!
I guess I'll just come back later.
It didn't work! 12 and 14, so now it's what? 6 and 8? Or 6 and 7?
There are some complications. Indeed, the Prussian is insistent. What's happening at your end? Do you need help? If tonight is not possible, let's see tomorrow evening, in the South Room, where we reviewed the situation. When Paul understood that only the axe counted, he went back on his tracks. I await your confirmation to his left, in the company of the pilgrims that have joined him. Yeah, this last comment is about their code. I should find new pilgrims near Paul. I guess I'll just come back later.
Okay, so 6 and 7. I can't find 6 and 7. I want to look at the other painting.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come? This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust.
Uh-oh.
I can read the number
4.
4.
Four and what? 4 and what? Damn it. 4. Okay, so we got 4. Okay. Okay. No 4. 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 4 and 18 maybe?
Because we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Not that one. That's Paul 1, right? 4. No. Let's go Paul 2. 4:8. I think I did 4:8 already. We'll do it again
Finally,
anyway.
brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things.
Okay, no. Oh, this one has 1 and 4.
In him God has chosen us before the foundation of the world, that we may be holy and blameless before him.
Nope. He needs new friends. Peter. John.
Hereby know that we dwell in him, and he in us.
There was one more,
because
chapter
he hath
4 or
given
something.
us
Yeah, I'm
of
looking
his
through all the
Spirit.
4s. But it seems to not,
And I heard a voice in the midst of the four
under
beasts
Paul, I
say,
think. Okay, I'll
a
check.
measure of wheat for a penny.
Let me
and
leave,
3
let me
measures
leave, let me
of
leave, let
barley
me leave,
for a
let me
penny.
leave.
And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
Okay, hang on. You said underneath the first, the new one, right? You said there's a number. So this one here, you mean?
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
Okay. So there's 4. 4 what though? 4 what though? He backtracked on his tracks. I wait your confirmation to his left. It's confirmation to his left. So like here? Outside? No. Confirmation to his left.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Backtrack. 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 Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Backtrack. No. Backtrack back to here, maybe?
There's nothing worth noticing here. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. That's what the message in Hebrew spoke about. Hebrew 8.
Hebrew 8 and 4? Could that be it? 8 and 4?
Little characters are engraved on the chest
8 and
of
4.
drawers under
Maybe
the
8 and
urn.
4?
It's a sentence in Hebrew. It says, count in the dust. Alright, let's do it.
Oh wait, we're counting in the dust. So 8 and 4, how much is that? That's 12? Right? Right?
No, nothing of value
8 and
here.
12, so we're counting. 8 and 12, so 8 and 4 is 12.
It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. That's what the message in Hebrew spoke about. Hebrew 8.
Hebrew 8. Hebrew 8/4. Move away. Maybe. No. Let's try that again. Alright. Hebrew. 8 and 4 is 12. Right?
Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
So if, okay, maybe we're missing more.
I guess I'll just come back later.
Maybe I'm missing more. Here?
On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add 1 companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
Oh, so if it's like, let's say it's like chapter 5 and chapter 8, I added up. So I added chapter 6, instead of 8, it'll be 11. You know what I mean? So 4 and 8. So 5 and 3 is 11. So 5 and 11. Let's try that. 5 and 11. 5 and 11. 5 and 12? Was I off one?
Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin. And so death passed upon all men, for all have sinned.
I'm thinking 5 and 11. 5 and 22?
And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet.
So I'm thinking 4 and 8, or 8 and 4. So like, or it's 9 and then 3 more, or it's 9 and 7. Hold on, I need to write this down. Or 5, 8, and then 3 on the right. So 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so it's okay. I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, I know this is getting a little toughy. 9, no. 6 and 11, maybe?
Then they suborned men, which said, We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God.
No. 3 and 11. No, I don't have any. I have 5 and 11. 7 and 14. 13 and 7. 3 and 8. No. 4 and 18. No. 4 and 8. No. 3 and 9. No. 5 and 14. That's kind of close.
Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak.
But it says I
be
have to
patient
backtrack.
toward all men.
Oh, this is driving me nuts. Come on, detective. Come on, Detective Frank. Help me here. 5 and 9? No, I didn't say that. 5 and 11. Peter. 7 and 9? Oh, 9 and 7.
Or what man is there of you, whom, if his son ask bread, will he give him a stone?
No. Five and 12? 5 and 12? Oh, 5. That's off by 1. I think I did that one already, though.
Saying with a loud voice, Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power, and riches, and wisdom, and strength, and honor, and glory, and blessing.
Six and 11.
Then they suborned men, which said, We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God.
Nope.
and he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare.
It was 10 and 8.
Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that?
Yes, exactly.
Clearly, she must be trying to do something useful, but what? The nightmare. Does that remind me of anything? Well, if it's a concept, I've got no idea what it is. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Yeah, so we gotta watch out for Molyneux or whatever. Which is... yeah, this guy here, I think. This guy's up to something. This guy's up to something. Or it was this one. I can't remember which one he said. Alright, here we go. Alright, where's my mother? I refuse to indicate a culprit. Okay, I discovered my mother's message. I did not understand my mother's message. I could not find the conversation between my mother and her partner. Fuck. So I missed some. Yeah, that's my mom. Liz, you're back! Yay! Remove all points. Politics, questioning. Politics, diversion. The roads were too bad. I couldn't go out for coffee with a friend.
In the small salon.
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
We can have coffee together. Pinky's out. I'm just gonna take an actual sip of a real drink. We're investigating a murder. Basically, we found her mom, and we think there's something up with this guy. So she told us to be very, very, yeah. careful of him, to avoid him at all costs.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis? About last night, I'm guessing.
Because we
Sadly,
banged!
No. Even if I'd like to have, alas, there are more pressing matters. I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
It must have been Emma I saw in my vision. I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay.
Ask her to go beyond the nightmare. Speak about the messages. Don't send her on my mother's trail.
If Mother's really killed her sister, I'd better find her by myself. They say they spent a lot of time together. They got along well.
Oh, really? Do you think your mother liked Duchess Hillsborough?
Of course she did. After all, she's your sister. Well, we'll find them, Emily. Trust me. Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
Oh my god. Do I tell her that her sister might be dead? According to my dream? Or do I keep quiet and not say anything? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. But she won't take revenge. It's just a dream. So I had a dream in the start of the episode that she gets shot. But she's alive. She has a sister that almost looks like her. Do I tell her about my dream or do I keep quiet? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I feel like I should tell her my dream, but she's supposed to be part of my trust circle. Her and Washington are like part of my trustee circle, but she could be very easily evil anyway. She could be like that card in the dust that could be like, haha, I tricked you the entire time and slept with you because I get what I want. You know what I mean? I feel like I should keep quiet.
I better keep that to myself for the time being.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
No, not telling her.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know.
Hey, what's up, Firebeast?
One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little
what I look
unnecessarily
like in the morning.
heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest. But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
And what has Mr. Peru done to once again provoke someone's anger?
We don't really know just yet.
I get the feeling it won't be long before it gets out.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds.
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined.
What?
Oh no.
The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before. How dare they?
Oh dear.
Oh, as if we did.
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous. Bastard. He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote. Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please, let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Gentlemen, Duchess, we're all among people of reputable company here. We should be able to manage the conflicts of our nations in a respectful and orderly manner.
I fully agree with you, sir.
But
That's enough, sir.
with whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richer.
Are
That's
you
what I was
related
thinking,
to
too.
Sarah de Richer?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another.
Oh,
When you
great.
hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Great, now I gotta mingle. Oh, I hate talking to people. Alright.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too. Of course.
Oh,
I heard about
baby.
your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
To hear you speak, you seem to know my mother well.
Not really. We met for the first time on this very spot some weeks back. We had a very pleasant discussion. She's an exceptionally learned lady with a good head for business. No need for me to tell you that.
I agree.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
The cat's out of the bag now. More or less, but please do refresh my memory.
Yes, of course. Nothing of great importance in itself. During one of our discussions, she spoke of an old book which might have been of interest to me, and she had agreed to let me have it.
A book about what?
Ancient occultism. As you are aware, I am a doctor of theology. You might have come across some old books.
I have to get all three of these in a row or I fuck up. He looks obsessed.
The least one can say is that he doesn't beat around the bush. Sarah never travels without a few books. What does the one you're looking for look like exactly?
It resembles a grimoire. It's divided into 7 parts, each one individually locked. It was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. It's a unique copy. There's only one.
The mere mention of it makes his face
Got it.
light up.
I feel like there's something in the
I'll
book
take
that
a
doesn't
closer
want.
look,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I can't promise you anything. You seem very upset.
At the beginning of the game,
Is it so
she hit it.
important to you, this book?
Well, it's this.
So at the very beginning of the game, when I'm having this dream that he was talking about, you see the mother. I don't want to say killing, but in the scene of like someone being shot, and it was like that girl's twin sister. and she's doing it because she knows that she's the only other person that knows where that book is. So, like, if she got captured and tortured, she'll be able to say where it was, right? Where she knows, like, if the mom's the only one that has it, she'll, like, take it to her grave kind of thing. So I think, like, maybe that's why.
Search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain von Borchardt in Paris. Do you know him?
Oh, God. Lie to him? Yes.
I've never heard of him. I'm sorry. I haven't been much help to you.
Well, too bad.
I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. von Volner, and that you succeed in finding what you're looking for.
Oh, and so do I.
Not supposed to tell him
And
anything,
now,
right?
what if you told me who
Bouchard,
you really
that's
are
the
working
name of
for,
the buyer!
instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what
Oh,
you're
so if
looking
I would have
for,
mentioned his
von
name,
Volner.
then he would
You're
know.
the one who von Burchard was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet.
He was gonna sell it to
You
that guy.
are playing a dangerous game.
Oh, bring it,
Please know
asshole!
that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me guess.
Oh my God, who do I say? Who do I say? Mortimer. No. King? The king? Home? Oh my God, who do I say? Who do I say? The king of home. Who's home? No. Who's the king of whatever? Why would he be working for this guy?
Lord Mortimer.
Oh, you are way off the mark. There's nothing more for us to say.
Damn it!
Bye.
The king. Damn it.
All right. I've retrieved everything. Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
Okay. Should there be people in here I'm supposed to talk to you? Where'd they all go? Play some piano lessons? Oh, are we gonna play some chess with this guy?
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
May we?
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
I'm sure that a soldier such as yourself is not interested in vulgar rumors.
Quite right. If only this cursed gossip didn't come to stain the uniform he has the audacity to wear.
Don't you find him worthy?
But how could he be, monsieur? He never sets foot on the battlefield, too occupied with charming the queen. Have you any idea of the number of titles that coward has won in just a few years?
No, not really.
10! And that Don Juan spends the best part of his time under the queen's skirts. The bugger must have some hidden talent
The bugger.
given all of the gifts she gives him.
I understand your point of view. Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
To his table, huh?
Does expression go beyond the nightmare mean anything to you at all?
Well, metaphorically, yes. It sums up the career of a soldier quite well. I doubt that is what you want to hear, though.
Indeed. That's surely not what I'm looking for.
Well, monsieur, if you are looking for a phrase book, Lord Mortimer must surely have one, given the number of books he has. You ought to check in the library of the tower. You never know.
Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave. Let me know if you find her.
No deal. The council. Yeah, Sheriff, this is definitely up your alley. You have to be a detective, basically. Okay. I think we can go into the door now.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
Royal jelly. Do I have any royal jelly? No. The servant is creepy, I know. To find some more clues, but I'm not exactly sure where I'm supposed to be going.
Ah, Louis. Just the man. Good Lord. How did the king come to be executed? I would think that the order would have intervened.
Your Eminence, I haven't been following the case. I'm sure that the Order did everything in its power.
Fire.
Unfortunately, you know the situation in Paris, and, well, it's chaotic at best. Anything can happen in those revolutionary tribunals.
The king is the official representative of God on earth, my son.
Your Eminence, France has become a secular state. The king was just another citizen to them. He refused to admit his errors, looked down upon them, and attempted to escape. What did he expect?
France has lost all reason, Louis.
I invite you to speak about it with my mother as soon as she reappears.
Is there any news of her?
I hope it won't be long before I find her, Your Eminence.
Now you wanted to speak to me.
If I say the nightmare to you, does it make you think of anything?
Your question is strange, my son. Difficult to say. Could you at least tell me a little more about the context?
Well, I mean, if it were a place or an object found on this island, what would you think of first?
The nightmare. No, I don't see anything. I'm sorry.
Well,
Damn
that's
it!
too bad.
Ah, wait.
Oh,
I suppose it might be that horrible painting hanging in Lord Mortimer's study.
Pretend not to be that interested. Right. Well, don't worry about it. I was just curious.
we're going into his place.
I was wondering what to think of that Manuel Godoy.
He is reputed to be a very ambitious character, at every level. But his faith is unwavering.
Did you grab a
He's
monster,
a
Chris?
staunch defender of the church. You can believe me.
As to his faith, I have no doubt. However, his ambition seems to surpass his morality, and I hope that it will not sully the crown.
You can say that again. The blue eyes of the latest Infanta, Maria Isabel, have left everyone.
I said, did you end up picking up a monster after picking your
Rumors
sister
always
up?
accompany men of power, Your Eminence.
Naturally. But the number of awards and titles granted by the Queen during these past 4 years leaves...
I'm gonna send you a video
So,
as
Godoy
well.
really is this out-and-out rascal who uses his charm on the Queen.
Tell me if this does not look like someone getting hacked or someone hacking. Okay, this death cam.
I'm sure a man like you is in the circle of trust. Would you know what the conference that Lord Mortimer mentioned is going to be about?
Not really, my son. Well,
The only thing I don't like about this game, SMP and Chris, is that like it's really like intense. Like you're solving a puzzle. Like I feel like I'm solving a puzzle, but it's
Thank you
not
for everything,
fast paced at all.
I shan't take up any more of your time.
You are welcome, my son. I will be seeing you, Louis.
A swine in a salon. That's an odd choice of decor.
Go to Mortimer's study. I don't know where that is. Has to be that way. I don't know which way Mortimer's study is. Oh my god, look how many fucking books there are! Oh my god, there's so many books here. I need to go to his study, but I don't know where it is. Library. Small forecourt. Could be one of these two rooms too, I'm not sure though. I don't know where Mortimer's study is. Oh, here's Mr. Washington.
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke Manuel?
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
What do you mean?
The situation is ready to explode with France over Catalonia.
Well, the Duke must have a darn good reason to be absent and come here, mustn't he?
When Lord Mortimer invites you, Louis, you come. It's always in your best interest.
I wouldn't say that personally, but... Mr. President, can you tell me a little more about the coming conference?
Of course, Louis. That's why we're here. Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory regularly organize meetings like this to put forward major projects.
Me too,
What
I
do
like
you mean
games
by
like this.
major projects?
I'd prefer to let Lord Mortimer explain that to you, Louis. Let's say he brings together influential people in order to consider possible actions to undertake to guarantee the future of nations.
Do you know the theme of the conference?
Not in the slightest. None of the guests know the theme before arriving. But you'll see, everything will turn out fine. Don't worry.
Well, thank you for your time.
Don't mention it, my young friend.
He's the only one that I trust, Mr. George Washington. He's the only one I trust. I'm glad they like these games, Miss Happy. Definitely helping me out with some of the puzzles. Okay, should I go? Oh, where would his study be? Would it be upstairs? It would stop me if I couldn't go up here. Okay. Oh, she's up here.
What do you want, Louis?
We just banged. What do you think I want?
What do you think of our last guest?
Well, I never thought I would get the chance to meet that Hispanic Casanova in the flesh. His reputation is well known. The gentleman collects lovers, including, would you
I want to watch
believe it,
Spartacus
the Queen
tonight.
of Spain.
The Queen of Spain likes to indiscreetly say, the King, Godoy, and myself make up the Holy Trinity. The people have appropriately renamed them the Goat, the Ruffian, and the Whore.
I didn't see you being a mudslinger in your idle hours, I must say.
No grass in the field. Play in the mud.
Emily, what
Damn
can you tell me about
Bobs.
the coming conference?
Sir Gregory and Lord Mortimer organise this kind of high society meeting every so often in order to consider the world situation.
But to what purpose?
Well, by bringing together the most influential people from the dominant nations of the modern world, they allow the mighty to discuss matters with calm clarity. There are precedents of armistices being signed at the end of these talks, you know. Talking while holding a glass of
Yeah,
brandy
clearly
makes things
hacking, right?
easier. You'll see. You're leaving me?
Unfortunately, I have things to do. Thank you again, madam.
Actually, wait. No.
What
One
do
more
you
thing.
want, Louis?
One more thing. I forgot to ask you one question.
Emily, what can you tell me about the coming conference?
Sir Gregory and Lord Mortimer organise this kind of high society meeting every so often in order to consider the world situation.
But to what purpose?
Well, by bringing together the most
Oh,
influential
she already
people
told me
from
this.
the dominant
She already
nations
told me
of the
this.
modern world,
She already told me
they
this.
allow the mighty to discuss matters
There,
with
we're gonna
calm
block the bobs.
clarity.
Nobody's
There are
gonna see the
precedents of
bobs.
armistices being signed at the end of these talks, you know. Talking while holding a glass of brandy makes things easier.
Keep your eyes looking
You'll
up.
see.
Look at this eye contact, eh?
You're leaving me?
Eye
Unfortunately,
contact.
I have things to do.
Don't look down.
Thank you
Don't
again,
look
madam.
down. Okay. So I'm here. There's a room here I haven't been into, and there's a room here that I haven't been into. So I guarantee that one of these places is the place I need to go to.
Sir Jacques Perru?
No. Okay, keep going. No, keep running. Keep running. It's gonna be Slay Boys time soon. 7 minutes.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Okay, we haven't been in this room yet, and we're not allowed in it yet. Okay, so it's not that one. Could be at the end of the hall. Or it's that staircase. One or the other.
Huh, that's me.
My own room.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Oh, can't go in that one. It's gotta be this one then. No? What the hell? Where the hell do I go then? Oh, don't tell me it's where all those fucking books were. I'll snap, eh?
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep. There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
I need to go get... Okay, I'm not too sure exactly what that did, but I'll take it. Some stuff here. Okay. We're stuck. Okay, so we're gonna go... It's probably this place here. It's got... I can't even go in here! Where the hell's the study? Is it this way? No, this is gonna bring me back to... What am I looking for? Okay, I did a puzzle in this room. I want to go to his... Oh, I've got to look at a nightmare picture.
Celia. That name means nothing to me.
I think this is his... I think this is his study. Portrait gallery.
Allegory regarding the decoration of the rights of men. That's Liberty or Death by Regnault. Ah, painting by Ingres. Molière dining with Louis XIV.
I need the death painting.
The king's posture is surprising. It's almost as if he's addressing someone in the assembly. Christ Crucified by Velasquez.
The Song of Roland.
Ah, François Premier, Receiving the Fall of Phaeton. Another painting by Rubens. Poor Phaeton struck the company.
Amber.
The Company by Rembrandt. A meeting between Louis XIV and Philippe
I need to find... Well, this is a maze, I know.
The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci.
The last day before his
I need to find, like,
crucifixion,
some nightmare
Jesus
picture.
announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples.
That he was going to be betrayed. I don't know where his study is. I'm gonna Google it real quick, so I'm not wasting your time. Without spoiling it, though. Where is it? Where is... I think I'm in it. Oh, no, I am 100% not in it. Okay, I'm 100% not in it. Alright, bye, Miss MP. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for your detective work. And Liz, if you're still there, we had to do another name, and Miss MP ended up getting it. Thank God for you two, because I would have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, I know where I'm going now. I apologize for that. I can't remember what the name was. Oh, yeah, so it was like an alchemist guy. And it was something that he holds close to his heart. And it ended up being zinc. In case you need to know. Alright, so I think I'm supposed to go here.
What did my mother mean by going beyond the nightmare?
Alright, we gotta find the nightmare now. Where can it be? Who knows? Who knows? As soon as I'm done this episode, Chris, we killing boys? Yeah? Definitely not this one.
Le Coup de Lance by Paul Rubens. Now, what have we got here? Oh, it looks like a model of a lock. It's as if Mortimer's fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it.
Try to unlock it.
Now, what have we got here?
Oh my God.
Let's take a closer look. Dark chocolate beans. Very bitter. They're greatly prized in high society.
I want to eat one. I want to eat one. I feel like the chocolate's not a big deal.
Might come in handy.
Not the nightmare.
A painting about a siege dated. A mynah bird.
Feed it?
Well, Waldo, is your master good? Sarah de Riche? Waldo, you know Sarah?
Give chocolate? I'm gonna kill the bird? I don't want to give it red berries. It's a robot.
A family ancestor, apparently.
What the hell's the fucking nightmare? Oh, maybe it's in here.
Book of the Mortimer family.
No. Okay. Maybe that's the nightmare right here.
The nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781. Ah, this must be what my mother was talking about. Now just need to find out what she meant by go beyond. Hey, looks like it's mounted on rails on each side. It should lift up, I think. There
Secret
must be a
tunnels.
mechanism somewhere. The nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
He's gonna catch me here.
This must
No,
be what
maybe
my
not.
mother was
We
talking
gotta
about.
figure out.
Now just need to find out what she meant by go beyond.
Yeah, I know. We already tried.
Hey,
We already
looks
tried.
like it's mounted on rails on each side.
We
It
know.
should lift
We
up,
know.
I
We know.
think.
We know. We know. We know. We know. We know.
There must be a mechanism somewhere.
That little round thing on the desk. Calling it.
Now, what have we got here? Well, it looks like a model of a lock. It's as if Mortimer's fond of complicating things sometimes.
What the fuck? Imagine the bird's like, what the fuck? Oh, baby, what do we got here?
Aha, I found it. Oh, what on earth is this? A ring lock now? Great. That's all I needed.
How would I know what the fucking lock is? $17.92?
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter. Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
$17.92. No. Watch the rollers. Was it 1972?
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter. No, what have we got here? Oh, it looks like a model of a lock. It's like Mortimer is fond of complicated.
History of the First Crusades by Pierre Amédée de la Salle.
Hey, the dates indicate AL, and it looks like 4,000 years have been added to our calendar. Oh, that counting system again.
The famous call of Pope Urban II.
20 years after the capture of Jerusalem from the Arabs by the Turks,
Oh, who's good at math?
Urban II convened the council. He promises a plenary indulgence to Christians who go and get Jerusalem back from the Turks. The result, the Jewish community on the road to Jerusalem found itself persecuted for no reason. 12,000 Jews would perish, not to mention the massacre of Ma'ara, where acts of cannibalism by Frankish crusaders were reported, or even the capture of Jerusalem, where approximately 30,000.
The wrong guy. You're not the sheriff I need then.
Beginning of centuries of wars.
I need a fucking math wizard.
The Crusades took place not long after the year 1000. Here all the dates say 5,000 and something. I'm guessing this dating system begins 4,000 years before the calendar that we use. Yet, I'm getting the feeling that
9,000
there's
something.
something else, another small detail, but what is it?
The author is Pierre Amédée de la Salle, None other than the Grand Master of the Masonic Lodge of Paris. Now I understand why the dates are offset. He's using dates based on the Anno Lucis, year 0 of the Masonic calendar, by adding 4,000 years to the Gregorian calendar. But I thought that calendar starts in March.
So 9,192.
The famous call from Pope Gregory VIII in his Audita Tremendi Bull of 5,187. Oh, the crusade where Richard the Lionhearted distinguished himself. It states the first sea blockade of Saint-Jean d'Acre was broken in the 12th month of 5,190.
So 9,190.
Whereas the siege had been going on for 2 years.
No, 92. 92. Okay. So 9,192. Shit, I forgot the number. 9,000.
History of the First Crusades by Pierre Amédée de la Salle. Hey, the dates indicate AL, and it looks like 4,000 years have been added to our calendar. Oh, that counting system again.
Okay, 9,192 or 4. Okay, so 9192, 9192, 9192, 9112, 9192, 9192. I'm bad at numbers. 91. But also it says it's going on for a couple years, so it could be 94.
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter. Well,
damn it!
I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
919492. What about 99?
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter. Hey, there are 2 dates on this painting. 1154 AD and 5154 AL.
$9,154. 9154. 9154. 9154. 9154. 91.
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Damn it!
Hey, there are 2 dates on this painting. 1154 AD and
okay, so what about
5154 AL?
9? That would be, wait, no. So AL's 4,000, so 5,000, okay. So it's not that one either. Okay, so that's the same thing. AL's 4,000 days ahead. What about this painting?
A painting depicting the Third Crusade. It's titled Winter Before the Fall of Saint-Jean d'Acre. The Siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre was a major conflict during the Third Crusade. Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus fought to take the town back. It was the Crusaders' first operation to take back the Kingdom of Jerusalem.
Give me 4 numbers.
I get the impression I've seen that before. In fact, I've read something on the Crusades before in the study. He clearly loves the subject. Now, what have we got here? Well, it looks like a model of a lock.
So it's 9,100 and something. I just don't know what.
Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it. Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Notice something? Watch rollers.
It's a complex mechanism. Looks like the third ring is a bit seized up. It gets stuck on number 9. Looks like there's a marker on number 1 on the second roller.
So what about the last one?
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
See what 9 to 0. It skipped. It skipped. I knew I wasn't seeing shit.
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Watch. It'll go from 7, 8, 9, and it should go 0. Okay? Watch. Watch. 8, 9, and then it's gonna go 1. Oh, it didn't do it this time.
Well, I got it wrong.
I
It
don't
doesn't
know
matter.
the answer! Okay, we're gonna have to come back to this.